Stephanie breaks from tradition and she proposes to Test. Did you know where the storyline was heading yet?
As far as the Triple H stuff?
Yeah, with the wedding and everything.
No, that's the most fascinating thing. We'll have to get Gewurtz on here too, because it was just going along this line, and then suddenly that was as surprising to us as anyone. I don't know how many people know, and that's one of those great things about wrestling. Ooh, the Montreal Screwjob, this, like, who knew? And you know what I mean? How did it happen? And it's even more astonishing to me because being behind the scenes all the time, it's even more like, wow, how did that happen? You're more mystified because you see all the moving parts a lot, and then you're like, that's weird, before.
So even as head writer, you didn't, like, when storylines are started, you didn't know what Vince where he wanted them to go.
Sometimes, yeah. Look at the Montreal Screwjob as a thing. Who knew?
Right.
Did the ref even know? Yeah, Hebner, sure, maybe, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of things. There was a couple. Gosh, I can't remember exactly when. Like, I think Lesnar beating the Undertaker. Mm-hmm. Even I think people, it was a rumor, like even the ref didn't know. Like no one knew to, it was like,
yeah, I believe Vince said it to the refs here. You're going to count 3 now. Like, make sure to count to 3 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's often things, not always, but here and there, there's there's little things, or sometimes, or something will go with the agent, and they mean, oh, that was changed because the agent got together, all the time. I'd have to say probably only 80% of the shows went exactly like you thought. There was always some wrinkles and some things not being maybe that important, or or what have you. But
that really, it does. I could tell. I believe you that you didn't know, because if you did know, why would Stephanie be the one proposing? Why is she setting up this angle where she turns on Test?
Oh yeah, it's well, as far as like, here's what was from Vince before that. The whole, like, we're gonna, because there was the thing I always said, like, yeah, the more the family gets involved, the better. People like it. It's it's crazy. And so he's like, yeah. The obvious is, like, Stephanie's going to marry a wrestler, at some point, like, oh yeah, all these things are in play. And he also said something interesting. He goes, yeah, we're going to have a wedding. That's why I had that Uncle Elmer wedding. And he said, it's a time-honored TV tradition that weddings always get good ratings. Soap operas do it all the time when they're down. Have a wedding. The one of the biggest ratings things of all time back in the day was Tiny Tim got married on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And if you looked through the years, it was kind of like moon landing, Super Bowl, Tiny Tim. It was like strangely way up there. And it was just like set this kind of precedence for whether that's true or became a trope. So that's where a lot of that came from. We're going to have a wedding.